topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Welcome to my radio and TV show, Debbie Changes Lives. I'm Debbie, your certified holistic health coach. I revitalize people's lives by helping them identify the root causes of their health and mindset issues and create a custom natural holistic strategy to address them in the areas of mind, body, and soul. As a health coach, I'm not allowed to say that I heal, treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any diseases. I can certainly make your body more efficient by reducing symptoms. You'll feel better, be more productive, and enjoy life more. Not many people have released 70 pounds, had a health and mindset transformation, and kept fit and trim for over a decade. I have, and I have staying power, and it's actually been over 12 years. I even became a half marathon runner at the age of 51 when I never ran from childhood to adulthood due to pain. Mindset is the key to lasting change. As a certified holistic health coach, I do revitalize people's lives in many different areas of health and mindset. I guide them to clean, toxic-free foods and high-quality essential nutrients. My coaching is for optimizing health, releasing weight efficiently when needed, and enhancing your mindset. With my clients, I help them recognize that their thoughts, feelings, and emotions drive their actions and results, sometimes good, sometimes bad. That's why it's crucial to have a positive mindset in life. It's also imperative to manage your emotions and release those low vibrational emotions such as fear, frustration, and doubt, because all it's going to do is slow you down and get you stuck physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Like a hot air balloon that has balances, I help my clients release those emotional balances and baggages so they can uplift to a better, happier, healthier life. In turn, they are releasing their stress and getting healthier, and they're reshaping their core beliefs. You will see and feel the difference with my coaching programs. Ask me about them. Set up a complimentary consultation at Debbie Changes Lives. That is DebiChangesLives as in Victory ES.com/Linktree LINKTREE. And I'll guide you to that better, happier, healthier life with custom matching solutions unique to you in the areas of mind, body, and soul. We're certainly in the holiday season. And what is the best gift of all? A gift of health. I have 20% off which is my holiday special on Take Your Body Back. It's a 12-week weight release mindset coaching program where you can utilize a new version of you for your success. You can use this QR code and scan it to get more information, or go to this link, which is at DebiChangesLives.com/Take Your Body Back. And there's no www. I don't think so. But anyways, check that out. Now, today I am honored to have Dr. Ewa Kleczyk on my show. She is a co-founder of Kleczyk Strout Foundation. And we first met, if you could bring up the book slide, when we did our book together on Women's Empowering to Succeed, Volume 3. It's a collection of 18 women sharing their stories, how they became coaches or whatever they did in life. I still have copies at very limited quantity. And if you want to purchase it for $20, that includes shipping and tax, scan that QR code or go to Debi, DEBI, and again, that's DEBI for changeslives.com/Women Rising Book, and purchase it. And you can read about Ewa's story and my story and others. And I got to say that Ewa, it not only has a foundation, but she's also on multiple community and healthcare boards. She is a nationally renowned healthcare analytics executive, academic leader, and a published scholar with nearly 20 years of experience in data, science, health economics, and world real-world evidence. She serves as a graduate faculty member at the University of May School of Economics and is currently pursuing a business excellence certificate at Columbia University as editor-in-chief of the Universal Journal of the 21st Century Women's Entrepreneurship, Leadership, Technology, and Publishing. She champions women's innovative and leadership. Her accolades includes the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award during the Biden administration, and she's recognized as one of the top 50 women leaders of healthcare technology. Until recently, I found out that she's living and thriving with celiac disease, and so we will be discussing gut health, hidden celiac symptoms, and whole body wellness. So let's welcome Dr. Ewa Kleczyk, co-founder of Kleczyk-Strauss Foundation, and so much more. Ewa, welcome to my show.
Good evening and good afternoon, Debbie. What a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so happy you're here. And because we're talking about gut health, I just want to give some gut basics. So if you can bring up the next slide, I've learned all my information from Dr. Joe Wallach, who is a naturopathic doctor, also a pathologist. He's a founder of the 90 Essential Nutrient Philosophy and a co-founding father of epigenetics. For people that don't quite understand epigenetics, it's environmental factors, behavior, and stress will activate a DNA section or segment, and it's kind of like turning on a light switch, and you become more predisposed to a certain health condition. And if you take care of your health, you can also, that most likely this could be turned off. And you know, when it comes to gut health, it could be a lot of things. And you know, everyday people can have gut health, and people that have more severe gut health will have celiac symptoms. And pretty much what happens is that if you want to bring up the next slide, the villi gets shortened in our intestinal tract. It goes along the whole intestinal tract. As you can see on the normal side, it's up there. I always call it, it's like kind of like a sea anemone, you know, grabbing for food and moves things along. And it needs to be upright for that. But there's things that you can eat, processed foods, gluten foods, that will shorten it. And for people that don't have the celiac issues, it just gets shorter, which is not good either, because you're not absorbing the foods and the nutrients and everything that you need to absorb. But unfortunately, it just kind of flattens it completely for celiac, as you can see there. And people that have this condition, and sometimes people that don't have this condition may have gluten intolerances as well. And pretty much that's due to cow albumin, milk protein. And the reason why that's happening is that these days, there's a lot of corporations that have cows on farms, and they just feed them grains or corn. They really should be out in the pastures eating grasses that have no pesticides. And that's affecting what we're taking in, because it affects us and makes it some people very intolerant. For me, I was very lucky. I was lactose intolerant, but because of my own diet, I can have dairy now. It doesn't bother me, but not everybody's like that. But for celiac, it makes it even worse. It makes their condition worse. Some celiac, people that have celiac, may be even sensitive to soy. Both wheat and soy are GMO products in the United States. 90% of our soy products in the United States are GMO. Who knows what kind of pesticides either one of these are involved in. But my whole point is, it's better to eat that clean, toxic-free diet that I guide people to. So with that said, Dr. Ewa, what makes celiac disease, because you experienced it, and other invisible illnesses so challenging to diagnose and validate, both medically and people really understanding it socially?
Yes, this is a great question. First of all, again, thank you so much for having me here, and thank you for that very nicely laid out introduction or overview of the disease. I don't think many people realize that celiac disease is an actual quite serious disease and can impact not only how we digest food, but actually being able to have the nutrition flow through our body. So In my case, for example, when I was being diagnosed 13 years ago, I was diagnosed with malnutrition, and I was a normal, healthy body. So it is a definitely something for everyone to think through. But let's get back to the diagnostics. First of all, when you start feeling sick yourself, you might be bloated. Some people might have rash. You might have a brain fog, like you keep forgetting different things. So you might start noticing that there's something off with you. You can be lethargic. So very often that's at the beginning, unless you have skin rashes or you have some kind of other visible components, it can be said that you might be maybe have anxiety, maybe you are depressed. So it's more going into the mental component versus thinking about it, what's going on in your gut. It takes very long to get, unfortunately, diagnosed. Now with the since I was diagnosed 13 years ago, the technology and the medicine has progressed. Many dermatologists, when they see a rash, they are able to diagnose from that, or at least send the patient to have the blood test done to identify where there is a predisposition for the condition. Unfortunately, when you don't have any symptoms that are visible outside of your belly swelling up and maybe having an occasional diarrhea, it is taking a long time, and it does require a lot of advocating for yourself and thinking about it. What are you eating, and taking a big note when it comes to, I just ate bread and I'm not feeling good. I just ate breaded chicken and I don't feel good. So just starting to make those connections. So that's one thing. The other piece is, I think, is for those who get diagnosed, I think there is still a lot of stigma that is being created because people do not understand it. I mean, I know that I've gone to family events or work events or somewhere else where people say, "Oh, what do you mean? Come on, you can have a little bit." People don't realize that that little bit can cause, for some individuals who are highly sensitive or allergic, a big reaction. So there is definitely a not only that it's hard to diagnose, but it also can create a lot of social anxiety that individuals have, and being not willing to be around other people as they find out or change their diets. So I think I'm sure we're gonna dive into those, but I just want to mention is, if you see someone who is telling you, "I can't have it," or "Please don't touch my food with your fork or your knife that was just put into a gluten covered meal," please respect that, because you can impact someone's well-being. And ultimately, what is even worse, when these things happen, when individuals don't take it seriously, that creates inability for those individuals or hesitancy to then join more of those outside events, and they really go inside, and potentially they can have other mental or other types of social anxieties that as a result of those interactions. So please be gentle on these individuals and understanding of what they are going through. Thank you.
Yeah, I completely agree, because I personally cannot eat beef. I actually, when I was a teenager, I went on a vegetarian diet, and then I started trying to eat beef, and immediately I got sick. And that's when I found I couldn't have anything with the cow, dairy, and all this other stuff. But my whole point, my family didn't understand that. They would make prime rib and all this other stuff, and I can't eat that. Mm-hmm. And they would think I was just being stubborn. I'm like, no. And I choose not to drink alcohol because it just made me fat. Mm-hmm. I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm getting fat. So I just stop, and that's the way I am. And so I drink teas and things like that. I don't drink sodas because sodas affect me as well. So, things that don't agree with me, I simply eliminate from my diet. So if people need to eliminate something from their diet, please honor them and understand why they're not eating. Because I go to social events and I often don't eat. Mm-hmm. Or drink. I just have water. But, family now does understand. But early on they didn't. So and my husband is completely understands my whole life. So he has no problems with it. But yeah, give somebody some love and understand. That's all I can say. Because you never know when something's going to happen. Now, I am in an alternative health space, and I do help people with nutrition to eat a better, clean diet. I have learned acupressure recently. I do mind-body connect practices, because your mind's connected to your gut and also your heart. Those are a trilogy, really. And so you got to pay attention to what's going on in a different part of your bodies. Now, when it comes to how can we utilize alternative medicine approaches, such as nutritional therapies, acupuncture, or mind-body practices to complement conventional treatment for celiac disease? How does that work?
Yeah, great question. I think this is very important component. First of all, for those who are newly diagnosed with celiac disease, it's the entire life changes. And I went through this, and you have to clean your house. You have to throw out a lot of stuff. Your family pretty much needs to almost join you on the journey, because you can get exposed, you can get contaminated just accidentally, and it can cause a problem. In my household, we pretty much don't have gluten at all. My husband also eats very clean with me. The other pieces, as you were saying, is also making sure that not only that you purge everything that potentially has gluten, learn to read all of the etiquettes, the labeling on the products. And I'm going to tell you, the fewer ingredients they are, the better for you it is. So for example, I'm going to skip right now the celiac disease, but I'm going to say something about some of the mayos that we have. I started getting allergic to the normal mayo, not that there was any gluten in it, but because of the of the different things that are in there. So I switched into one of the vegan brands that only has three ingredients, and it made a world of difference. So we have to be very mindful and read it. For celiac disease, to your point, sometimes some people might have soy issues when you are eating or having soy sauce. Make sure there is gluten-free, because you would never think that soy sauce will contain gluten, but it does. So it has to specifically say safe for those with celiac disease or that it doesn't have gluten. The other piece, also learn how to read label when it comes to it may contain wheat. That's a whole other ball that you have to remember, that if it says that it may contain wheat, that means that probably it's in a manufacturing plant where wheat is being produced or is being distributed, or there is some kind of level of contamination. The suppliers, the manufacturers are putting that to give you a sign that while it doesn't have gluten in the ingredients, it might still be exposed. So for some patients, this might be really important notice to do. The other pieces, also be okay if you're going to restaurant, if you have to eat outside, ask very clearly, how is your fryer? How do you prepare the meals? Do you change your gloves? Because we all sometimes have to eat outside. We will not have the luxury of always eating at home. So also learn and be okay with asking these questions. I'm going to tell you, many restaurants are going to send you the chef or the manager, and they will ensure to properly do this. And even when they deliver, ask again, did you follow A, B, C, and D if you really need it? I very often, if I'm not sure that it had the right preparation schema, my husband will try it and will say, nope, it doesn't taste correctly, or this doesn't taste as grainy as without gluten should taste. So there is some ways that you can do this, but this is really important that you really change it. The other pieces, I think, as you are going through, as let's say you are diagnosed right now and you have to go to holidays, that's a huge change, and you might actually feel somewhat of anxiety. You might actually feel depressed because you're going to be entering into a very different world. And who doesn't want that nice chocolate cake that grandma has been making for 20 years, right? That you remember. Who doesn't want this beautiful steak, like you were saying, Debbie? And people might not understand that that your diet is now very different. So reach out to a health coach, reach out to someone like Debbie, who is talking about the entire mind, body, spirituality, and healing, and talk about techniques. Talk about it. How do you make sure that you have an exit strategy? How do you make sure that it's okay to tell people very straight up, I can't have it? And if people get offended, I'm not telling you it's not your problem. It's their problem. And you have to know it's okay. But I do think that either mental health professional or individuals like holistic coaches can walk you through and give you great understanding and great tactics of how to do this, and how do you survive holidays where you can get exposed very quickly, even though people think that they followed every single step, but B, mentally you might feel like you are not belonging. And that is a big thing for many people, especially at the beginning. All of a sudden finding out that they are not belonging to the family or to the social environment they used to be because they cannot have certain things. So I'm hoping that it answered your question, Debbie, but I also would want to hear from you, from your perspective, what you recommend individuals do in those situations.
Yes. Well, first of all, when it comes to restaurants, some restaurants have a clean part of the restaurant, others don't.
Yeah.
And that means it's gluten-free clean. And it's always going to remain that way. And there's other part of, other kitchens at different locations that is like the normal kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So you need, you can ask those questions. Another thing, I mean, it doesn't affect me, but you can ask those questions. Another thing that you may want to ask, especially in sushi restaurants, how do you make your rolls? Mm-hmm. People don't realize some of the sushi chefs use wheat to bind that rice. So you're better off with sashimi.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to be there, you're better off with sashimi, or just don't go to a sushi restaurant. But when it comes to social events, you just need to be strong to yourself. You know how you feel when these things happen. I mean, when I had problems with beef, it would happen to me almost immediately. I'm running to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. Okay? Or ice cream. It became a little joke with my husband, but it would happen automatically. But somehow when I did a keto program where I lost, 50 pounds of fat, or more, actually 70, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I can start eating cheese. And it's not doing this to me. And, but I'm a lucky one. And I do watch what I eat. I do pay attention to bloatingness and something that's going on in my stomach. It's hard to eat in restaurants. I travel quite a bit. My food sensitivity is how they cook it. I cannot digest food if they cook in oils. And everybody cooks in oils these days. Mm-hmm. So I try to pick meals that are grilled as best I can. I pick salads. That's what I do. I pick, it's funny, when I was on that keto weight loss program, they would only let me have half a piece of bread. And I'm like, oh, who cares? I stopped. And, but my whole point is stand up for yourself, be your own advocate, because not all doctors understand everything and know everything. And you may go to one doctor, to another doctor, to another doctor. Eventually you'll find somebody that's a little bit more knowledgeable. But I already found the naturopathic route for me was the best, and when I found this, I was kind of relieved that I did. And that's why I wanted to learn more. And everything I know are from naturopathic doctors. And to tell you the truth, this is something I should have mentioned before. We don't even have the digestive enzyme for ancient wheat. So the complex wheat that we have now is even more complex. Yeah. So Dr. Joanne Conway taught me that. So I've learned so many little nuggets from every different doctor I've worked with. And it's a good idea to learn about it for yourself, especially if you have this sensibility, because it could be life-threatening for you. And you don't want that to be that way.
And I just want to add to this. I think not only that we have to be our own advocates, but we need to make sure that we choose what makes us feel good. And always remember that, because no one else, ultimately, at the end of the day, we are going to bed ourselves. And if we don't feel good, that's not going to set us good for the next day. And it impacts. So for those of you listening, especially for those who have been diagnosed just recently, bring your own food if you can. It's okay to say no. And if you feel like you're going to be triggered, like it's going to create an emotional response, being with a family and not being able to eat the food, it's okay. You can very politely say, I got to go, and you can remove yourself. Sometimes that's the best way to do this. So I think we all have to find the best way for us, and knowing what works. And don't worry what anyone else think. I know that I cared for a long time, but you can't, because they don't live your life. They do not know how you feel if you get impacted, if you get contaminated, even accidentally, and only you know how you feel. So make sure that you take care of yourself, because you only have one life here.
Yes. And, you got to let go of what people are judging you with.
I am 100%.
You need to, this is their issue. They don't understand, and you just need to move on and let that go. It took me the longest time to get.
That's the hardest part. That's the hardest part.
That's how I felt. Now, when it comes to the role of gut health, and I guess you're calling celiac and other diseases that have to do with the gut, invisible diseases. How can holistic practices support a healthier microbiome? I know I have some solutions, but let me hear what you've done.
Yeah, great question. So I try to eat myself. First of all, at the beginning when I was diagnosed, I took some of the now I'm running a blank here, but they have those nutrients where they are giving you, help you restore the healthy gut.
Probiotics or prebiotics?
Yeah, exactly, probiotics. And so I was definitely taking them. But it's also when you are changing your diet, you really have to, because you have to pretty much purge out everything. So it takes a little bit, it takes probably 6 months for your body to really start feeling better after you start doing this. For me, is I try not to. Right now I don't take anything, but I try to also eat, as you were saying, very healthy. I try to have one nutrition, one item nutrition as much as I can. Meaning, I eat those vegetables. I eat clean meats. I try to get as little as I can anything processed, because that's what impacts how you are processing, and also knowing which combinations are good for you. Not every combination of foods is going to make you feel better. So this is really, for me, it was error, trying and seeing how I am feeling. And then just knowing that, for example, I cannot have tomato sauce and shrimp or seafood. That just creates a very bad reaction, and it just makes it worse. The same as, for example, I stopped eating broccoli because I was not feeling good. So you have to realize that even what we call clean vegetables or clean meats or whatever that is, we all have a reaction that might not be the one that we really want. So we have to really watch for that. But I would start this with the probiotics. If you think if there is all of the certified nutrition, if there is anything that is recommended, I am all good for that. And it's just whatever can help you do this. I always try to think about it. The simpler I eat, the healthier I feel, because then I know exactly what I intake. And then I can also map it. Okay, I eat broccoli and I eat an onion. One of these is causing this. So I eat one separately from another and see whether there is a combination. Maybe both are causing the symptoms. So you have to use your judgment, and food diary is very important. There is plenty of apps you can do, and record it at that individual piece of fruit or whatever, what you are eating. Each food should be as singular as you can, to be as clean as you can. And when you're eating processed foods, I would say is don't do it. Don't do it either. It introduces it really. We have all of these allergies, and we have, I don't know how many of you know right now, colon cancer, for example, for young people is exploding. Why this is happening? It's all of the processed foods. It's all of that intake that we've never seen before. So we have to, if we want to be healthy, it really starts with us and trying to be as organic as we can, and as clean eating as we can. And again, if you ever doubt, try one thing at a time and see how you feel after it, and remove it if it doesn't make you feel. Don't put yourself again because someone tells you that you should have it. Well, there's plenty of things that we all should have it, but sometimes they just don't work for us. So that's my philosophy, and I try to keep it as simple as I can.
And that's what elimination diet is, what you're describing. So if you're trying to think, oh, this doesn't work, oh, I'm going to add that. No, I got to get rid of this. Tomato sauce can have a lot of stuff in it, and it's very acidic. And I personally was so happy when I found the 90 essential nutrients, because what it is cofactors that work together. It's 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and essential fatty acids that work together with cofactors to make your body the the right alkalinity at 7.4, 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
And that made a big difference because I was getting heartburn a lot, and that went away.
That's amazing.
And the digestive issues went away as well, unless I get stressed. But my whole point is that you can't, if you have these nutrients to fortify whatever you're eating, it's going to help you quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And probiotics are great. There's a range of probiotics I can offer, and prebiotics. Sometimes, sauerkraut, or some people can't have dairy, but that has probiotics in it as well. But my whole point is, find what works for you. I prefer goat cheese and I do really well with goat cheese versus other type of cheeses. But you try something, it doesn't work, then say, put it on the shelf. I'm not using this anymore. And it's kind of like me saying, I'm not going to drink alcohol anymore. I'm going to drink tea. I'm not going to drink soda anymore. I'm not going to drink anything carbonation. Carbonation actually zaps out calcium out of your bones. So why drink soda anyways? So that's why, I kind of did that. And I found, up to age 28, I was eliminating things. And then I found out why later on in my life. So it's really important to pay attention to what you eat. And I do have people do food diaries. Okay, when people are living with chronic symptoms with no clear diagnosis, what steps can they take to explore either holistic, what I mean is naturopathic, integrative, or functional medicine safely and effectively? You have more experience with that than I do.
How they can, so
like how can they explore the naturopathic, integrative, or functional medicine safely and effectively?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's trying out and seeing what works for anyone. It's very important. And we talk a lot about now mental health. We talk about a lot of different types of coaching, meditation, and so forth. I think we need to be trying and understanding what works when it comes to homeopathic, when it comes to whatever other types of medicine, acupuncture. I think you need to try it all and see whether that makes a difference for you. It's not always going to be good for everyone, but we own ourselves to find out what works for us, especially if we are not feeling any better, right? So I think the safety in it is you are trying and you might not get the results as you want. The one thing that I want to mention is in diseases as we are right now, the gut health, clearly there are individuals who have much more stronger or they are much more severe. And we all know that all of the immunology types of diseases come also from gut. So if you have RA, if you have IBS, if you have Crohn's disease, that all starts in your gut because there is something wrong. So you are, in most cases, you are already gonna be put in on a diet to try to eliminate some of the symptoms that you are having. So diet will be good. But then there is other pieces. Doing an acupuncture for some individuals with RA, for example, it helps them with their joints. Doing massages helps them. So if you think about that, it really is trying to understand, having someone like Debbie talk to you about what it is that you can do, what is the approach that you can do, and who else can you be reaching out. The other pieces I do always say is it's also important your mental health. We keep forgetting about the mental health. You have to take care of it, whether it's your meditation, whether you listen to classical music or jazz, or you go for a walk, or you go to a mental health professional to talk to someone, or you go to life coaches, certified coaches, to really get that guidance, because it does get lonely when it comes to having an invisible disease. When you're talking about invisible disease, I don't know how many of you have seen, there were a couple commercials a few years back where, and might have been even a whole program about individuals with Crohn's and having a disabled plug to put on their car so they can park in those spots. And there was a lot of backlash, but people didn't realize that very often these individuals have such a severe symptoms, digestive symptoms, that being able to park closer to a place of work or a store allows them to then go to the restroom when they truly need it. And
True.
and recently we had a situation where I think a woman had a digestive system on the plane and needed and had a the entire plane had to be evacuated because she couldn't get in time. And I think we need to be very mindful of those individuals and what we are providing them as help. So I say is find what really works for you. Try different things. Not everything is going to work for you. We are all different. But also talk to trusted people like Debbie and find out what it is that is accessible to you. Because I didn't know what's accessible to me. I had to do my research. And thankfully now we are in the era where life coaches, holistic coaches, every mental health coaches, everyone is online, and it's a much easier to do this. So reach out to trusted buddies, to healers, and talk to them and get the guidance and try it. If you don't try it, you will not know what's going to work for you.
Yes, and I do have a lot of methods for anxiety.
Mhm.
So whether it's sound, whether it's, I do acupressure because acupuncture was too severe for me.
Mhm.
But there's different things that I offer, and it's made a world of difference for me to relieve pain and stress and anxiety. I actually have a talk about that too. So anyways, let's talk about your organization and how people can make a donation to your organization. Can you bring up the slide for the offers? Thank you. Now I misspelled her name at the beginning, so apologies, but it's spelled correctly in the link. There's a QR code that you can use, and it's KLECZYK, StroutFoundation.com. Now, why don't you tell us a little bit about this organization?
Yes, thank you so much. This is my husband's and my endeavor. We are very much into supporting local communities. So whether it's in Pennsylvania or where we also spend some time in Maine, we want to ensure that we are providing opportunities for accessible healthcare as well as education. So we are supporting initiatives that do this. We work with one of the health systems for cancer care in northern Maine, where we are supporting. So some of the donations that we are getting from individuals and places are going to support them to make sure that no one in rural America, or at least in that part of Maine, doesn't have has the right care when they really need it. So we are supporting those. We also have a scholarship for graduate students at the University of Maine, the School of Economics, where we are donating through the organization, through our foundation to them, so we can have international students and students from Maine get the higher education that they deserve and ultimately have better lives. So if anyone is interested in donating, please do. Please go to the website. Please reach out to me. There is an email address if you would like to find out what we are currently doing. And you can also buy my newly launched book there. And some of the, if you send me an email, I will then send you the book. And the profits are gonna go back to the foundation. So there's many different ways that you can get involved with us and support us. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Now for my offer, if you want to bring up the next slide, I'm going to offer anybody that says a complimentary consultation. They mentioned celiac, a complimentary Zyto scan. It's a transdermal optical imaging app that you'll be using your phone. It's going through your skin to look at blood flow for components of energetic, functional, emotional. I'll describe that a little bit later on in this show, but it's going to show you so many things to help you and see where your emotional state is too. So you get this at wchangeslives.com/Linktree. So thank you for sharing your experience and so many nuggets to help people that have celiac disease that I was able to contribute a little bit to as well. And please donate to her foundation. Will you want to be a guest again?
Absolutely. I would love to be back and talk more about all of the other aspects. So thank you so much for having me here.
You're welcome. Please stick around for closing remarks, okay? Okay?
Yes, thank you.
You. So remember, I do revitalize people's lives in many different areas of health and mindset. I do start with the gut and mindset. But I also help people with hormones, bone and joint, brain and heart, as well as immunity. And I help people with anxiousness up to, athletes, because I guide you to that clean, toxic-free food. I show you what is a good food, bad food list. And I also guide you to high quality essential nutrient products that will reduce symptoms. You'll feel better. You may release some weight. I release an additional 20 pounds to make that total 70. But it's going to uplift your mood. With my mindset coaching, I help you release stress, emotions, entanglements from the past, so you won't let other people bother you anymore, and you're going to be strengthening your core beliefs. That's mindset coaching. It's enhancement. Now, with my health optimization and weight release, I help you make your body more efficient. So that's the mind-body connection that makes your heart and soul sing. So ask me about my program. Set a complimentary consultation at DebiChangesLives.com. DebiChangesLive as in victory. es.com/Linktree. You'll get to know me, I get to know you, and I'll guide you to your optimum health. And it begins with 1 or 2 assessments. The first one is the health evaluation, where you're going to rate your symptoms in 4 categories of health. Some questions overlap to other categories. Answer them all. You get a baseline score. I'll review it with you. When you move forward, I'll give that custom national strategy for you, and we will look at this on a monthly basis to see your improvement. I also have that 2 different body scans. I prefer to do the Zero link because I can actually send it out remotely and internationally. It's gone to Australia and South Africa. The Zero Link is a transdermal optical imaging app. So, and I send it to your phone. You're going to be using your phone to scan your face. It's not looking at anything but through your skin for blood flow. Components are functional and energetic and emotional in different body systems and lifestyles. It generates a wellness report, not a diagnosis of biomarkers out of range and products and services that bring it back into range. It's quite intensive. That's why I review it with you, and that's why it's $75. So if you say celiac, you get 1 free. If you do pay for it and you move forward with a product or program, you get a $25 credit. The Zero Link is a transdermal optical imaging app, known also as TOI. You can look up its accuracy on PubMed.gov. That's PUBMED.gov. I also have a package of 5 scans where you're saving $50. People are really amazed what their body tells them through the scan, and you'll be too. Curious? Just get it done or ask me questions on my consultation site. On this site, again, is Take Your Body Back, 20% off right now until the end of December. It's a 12-week weight release mindset coaching program. You utilize a new version of you to drive you to success. All coaching is done on Zoom. The first one's always private to you because I'm a certified HIPAA health practitioner, so any health evaluation is private. I give you a choice of between 3 programs, and I can incorporate the GLP natural approach that I offer. And also, I give you directions on that. I give you instructions how to create a new version of you that's going to drive you to and emotionally succeed on your goals. And with the rest of the coaching, we'll be celebrating your wins. We're using those boards, and I get you over gaps with health and mindset tips. Now, you can ask me questions. No, not yet. You can ask me questions on my consultation button about this program. And then if you're a do-it-yourself YFAST is an intermittent fasting program. That's a do-it-yourself where it's going to boost your metabolism, get your body humming with rich, dense nutrition, high quality essential nutrients, recipes, and as well as exercise. If you can ask me questions about it. If you feel like you need some coaching, there's smaller programs that are 2 or 4 programs to get you started. If you want to pay for more coaching after that, that's up to you. Also, you can use these smaller programs for mindset enhancement coaching and also health optimization, but those are usually a longer term journey. So, and it's more economical to get a bigger package, or I can create a package for you. Next are some other programs I offer, which happen to be one's for women's health from ages 30 to 100. They're in the pause, perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. And I was really surprised that I have some issues regarding postmenopause, and it has to do with my traveling with the digestive system. But that first product is a great probiotic that has done wonders. I felt relief within the first 7 days. There is a life balance that helps you with the other symptoms that you may have. And there also is an age gracefully product that helps the telomeres as a complete women's health system. Now, here's the GLP product. It's YGY GLP 30-day system. It has a shot that you drink, no injections, for 10 days called Elevate. Next 20 days, you drink another drink called Activate. It keeps that GLP going to help you crave less and release weight. And then it has a digestive fiber that helps you to release toxins and have good bowel movements, so you're not holding anything in your gut. Fantastic. So it's a healthier way of monitoring that GLP-1. You can ask me questions on my link tree. And I still have Debi's Coaching Chest, which is a complimentary coaching service for 30 minutes. It's not recorded. It's in a group, and a survey picks a topic. It's on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's at debiechangeslives.com/chats. Finally, learn more about alternative health services, programs, products, and offers. You can go to the next slide. Articles, blogs, upcoming shows, and events by subscribing to my newsletter at debiechangeslives.com. But this time /radio TV show, and I give you a gift, which is a 30-day health and mindset daily action journal, where you can record your gratitudes, thoughts, feelings, and emotions, the foods you ate, the water, the supplements you take, as well as the exercise you have done. You can even track your measurements. Then you want to review it on a daily basis, weekly basis, and a monthly basis to see your wins and celebrate them, find your gaps or blocks, and improve upon them. If you need to get over your gaps, you contact me for coaching. This journal is a great health and mindset awareness tool. I'm certain that you found this show educational and you got some eye-opening information and enjoyed it. Reach out to me for my services, programs, products, and offers, and reach out to Dr. Ewa regarding any questions you have with Celiac and her foundations, and donate to her cause. So do we have time to have her come back?
Here I am.
Yeah, it looks like we have some time. One thing I didn't ask you about, and I think we kind of covered this, but we might as well touch on it a little bit later. We really need to give people greater awareness and empathy for individuals that have these. It's not like you have a label on you saying, I have celiac.
I will sometimes.
Because, it is an invisible disease, and only you know when you go to the restroom you're having issues. How can we advocate and empower people on this healing journey?
Yes, thank you. First of all, when you hear someone say this, take it seriously and help them. When you are seeing that, or if they are in your group of friends, all of a sudden you guys are eating, maybe ask them, why don't you go and pick the food first? Or here is, let's set aside the food that you brought in so no one else touches that. I know that my husband's family does it for me, that they set it aside and put it somewhere where no one else will do this. And then sometimes you can say to people, did you wash your hands before you touch something? And I do think when others say these things, when others are educated, then it is becoming less about the person with the disease. It is becoming now we all are supporting you. And I think most people don't realize it, but that's very important. So if you can support them, educate yourself, and ask us questions. Ask us questions about what can you have? What do I need to do? How do you like me to prepare something if I would like to cook for you? Because I think the more individuals know, the better it's going to be. And then they are much more aware. So when they see someone outside, they can help them as well and help them advocate for their own food rights and just feeling included in the society.
Yeah, and don't judge yourself that you can't do these things. There's plenty of food out there, and you're eating healthier than anyone else on the face of the earth if you think about it. So you're doing your body some good. So don't judge yourself. Don't judge how people are reacting, and don't react to them. They're the ones with the issue, not you. You need to live your life and enjoy life and have a healthy body, and that's the most important thing. And it's great that she actually wanted to be part of my show. So I was like, really? She said, tell me why. So I'm really happy you're here today because everyone can learn what you went through and some of the information I gave too. So thank you for being my guest today, and I will have you back.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. So remember to continue to enjoy my radio and TV show, Debbie Changes Lives, on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, where your holistic journey begins.